Tonight, Douglas Oronto is laid to rest. President Goodluck Jonathan describes his former special advisor on research, documentation and strategy as a dependable ally who will be missed at all times. A woman, her 3 children, a relative and a helper lose their lives in the fire in Plateau State. Newly elected members of the House of Representatives lobby for the speakership of the incoming House. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge introduce their daughter to the world as they take her home to Kensington Palace 10 hours after she was born.
And on business news tonight, Nigeria equities markets key indicators record 9.33% gain in April, boosted by massive post-election rally.
And on sports news, the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas comes alive as Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao battles for who becomes the greatest pound-for-pound boxer in the world.
We're beginning tonight in Jos, the capital of Plateau State, Nigeria's north-central region, where a fire outbreak at a story building has left 6 people dead. The fire was said to have started at about 2 a.m. today, shortly after power supply was restored to the area following an outage. The victims, a woman, her 3 children, who are between the ages of 1 and 6 years, sister and maid, were believed to have been suffocated by the smoke of the inferno while they were fast asleep. Eyewitness accounts say that the fire may have started from an electric surge and likely to have been aided by a gas cylinder which exploded after the fire started.
How do you begin to console a family that has just lost 6 members of its own to a fire outbreak? 6 of the Araf household lost their lives to this fire outbreak. The family members, all occupants of this 2-bedroom apartment, were burned beyond recognition. Even before members of the fire brigade service and residents could render any assistance or extend any help to save them. The victims include the mother, her 3 children, a relative, and a house help. Mr. Araf himself was away on official duty when tragedy struck. In line with Muslim tradition, the victims were buried soon afterwards. Prayers are offered for the repose of the departed souls, and they are buried subsequently.
We had a shout saying, "Come and help me, help me, help me." All of us ran out to see what we can see. We saw fire on the second building, that is the duplex. So all of us ran there. In the process of going, any iron you touch in that building, it shocks you. So we quickly alerted, cut the cable wire that supplied light to the house. In the process of going up, the gas cylinder exploded. So in that process, we have nothing to do rather than to run and call the fire service.
The wife came out at the window. She was shouting, "Please help us, please help us, please." And there was nothing we could do. We tried to open this thing, but the burglary proof was too strong. So there was nothing we could do. So we now called the fire service and then the police. So they now came. They tried to put the first time that came, they started putting out the fire. Water finished. So they have to go back and call for another reinforcement. So it was the second one that now put off the fire.
It is indeed a heart-wrenching story. An entire family wiped out in one incident. While this sad tale will leave tears in the eyes of many, none other than the immediate family can begin to go through the agonizing process of trying to continue life afresh without those close to their hearts and souls.
Well, just like Jos, but this time residents of Beachland Estate in Arepo, Ogun State, southwest of Nigeria, have held a procession in honor of their lost neighbor who died in a crossfire between Oodua People's Congress vigilantes and oil vandals. The residents are asking the state and federal governments to beef up security against the activities of the vandals in the neighborhood. Our correspondent Temple Shaju reports.
Neighbors of the late Damilola Fajana, a lawyer who was killed meters away from her house by stray bullets from the crossfire between OPC vigilante and oil pipeline vandals in Arepo. Their procession takes off from Beachland Estate through to Arepo main gate and then to the Olu of Arepo's palace.
Residents of Beachland Estate in Arepo, Ogun State, Nigeria, taking a solidarity walk for the loss of their neighbor, Damilola Fajana, who died in a gun battle between OPC vigilante and oil vandals in this area. They're taking a walk now to the KBS's palace in Arepo to air their grievances.
In fact, it's a big loss and a big blow to the community. She saw a young lady coming back from work. She was shot innocently. We are tired. We are appealing to the government. Please help us.
Her death is very painful to every one of us in that estate because she was a young girl and every mother will feel this.
The traditional ruler is unavailable to receive the protesters. This, however, does not stop them from making their demands known.
We are here at the palace to let the palace know that we are not safe because of the presence of the militants, the oil pipeline vandals who are always at war with the security people, especially the OPC guys who were appointed by the government recently to come and protect and guard the oil pipelines. I understand that the palace was pre-informed of our visit here this morning, so I'm surprised. I really don't know what to say. I'm tongue-tied, really. I never expected that this whole palace would be empty. It has never been like this before.
No one is happy concerning what is happening.
The Oba's aide sees things differently. In the first instance, his principal had an equally important engagement. That's why he's not here to receive the protesters. Secondly, he believes that the protesters should share part of the blame for the activities of the vandals.
Everybody knows clear that this ugly thing, they come through the river. But the fact is that if the residents that are living here are not accommodating them, believe me, they won't be able to do it successfully. These people, they come in through, they have a channel, and there's a gate on all these streets, and they have security at this gate. If the security are not complying with these people, where would they pass?
But for Beachland residents, buyers of fuel from the vandals forced their way into the estates despite installed barriers.
Most of the landlords here has done their best in trying to provide security. But most of the time, take example of our security gate here. Most of the time in the night, these people came and overpower our security and break the keys. If they want to be sincere with themselves, they should know that we have the main entrance gate right there at the Arepo bus stop, where the main security is supposed to be provided. That's where those people who come from outside to come and buy comes in, and that's where they used to go out.
This is late Damilola Fajana's residence. The distance from where she was killed is quite close.
My brother called me around 8 o'clock. He informed that his wife is late. It's really painful because they got married last year, February 22nd. And the lady was 6 months pregnant.
Oil pipeline vandalism takes place quite regularly in Arepo. Now with the death of this innocent passerby, and indeed others who have lost their lives in the course of this illegal business, those in authority have their hands full. as the people say that all this must stop sooner than later. Temple Ashaju, Channels Television News.
Let's now take you to Bayelsa State, where former trusted aide to the president, Mr. Douglas Oronto, has been buried. Mr. Douglas, one of Nigeria's leading environmental human rights lawyer, who served as President Goodluck Jonathan's special advisor on research, documentation and strategy, was buried in Bayelsa State today. While paying tribute to Mr. Oronto at the end of a commendation service in his honor at the St. Peter's Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion, Yenagwa, Bayelsa State, President Goodluck Jonathan described the late Oronto as a dedicated and committed special advisor who stood by him till the end without any sign of betrayal.
It makes its entry into the St. Peter's Anglican Church in Bayelsa State for a commendation service in honor of one of Nigeria's illustrious sons, Oronto Douglas. Came also a commendation service attended by President Goodluck Jonathan, who he served as the special advisor. Also present were the Bayelsa State Governor, some members of the Federal Executive Council, and other bigwigs drawn from far and near. As we are mourning, the preacher identified death as man's last enemy. He said that Nigerians may be sorrowing over the death of Oronto Douglas, but there is hope for those who died in the Lord. Apart from Enoch and Elijah in the Bible, every other person that went to God passed through what? Physical death. But it's a moment of sober reflection. And if we know it, I wonder why some human beings, while they are alive, we engage in several vices. For the president, Oronto Douglas served as special advisor on research, documentation, and strategy. Oronto was a dependable ally who will be missed at all times.
Just like the governor said, Oronto is somebody who is so dedicated to his service, totally committed. If he believes in you, he will never betray you. He will stand by you to the end. Even if you are dying, Oronto will want to die with you. In politics, most people will be with you when things are okay. Yes. But immediately you win turn, it will disappear. But Oronto is not that kind of a character. Totally committed. I've worked with him as a deputy governor when he was a commissioner. He's been with me for 8 years in Abuja. So I'm one of those who can clearly attest to the qualities of Oronto. Dedicated. And in my own case, I feel pain because Oronto was so committed about documenting all my activities. I am the most documented president for now because of Oronto.
The governor of Bayelsa State says Oronto left at the wrong time. He takes solace in the fact that Oronto left some legacies that should not be left to die.
Let me say that the government of Bayelsa State will discuss with Madam, our sister, and see what role we will play concerning the educational and other needs of the two children he has left behind up to university level. It's a token of our appreciation of the severity of the loss, which we cannot question, which we must accept, and then the need for us to stand united behind a man who lived a life of service and dedication.
As part of the tributes, children from the E.K. Clark Preparatory School, founded by Douglas Oronto, made a presentation in honor of their founder, while one of his sons, Oge Oronto Douglas, also said a few words about his dad, promising to carry the name forward.
First of all, I know he was not violent. I know he was not tribalistic. I know he loved his nation and he was a good patriot of his nation. And as his son, I shall carry the name forward.
Douglas Oronto was a foremost environmental activist, renowned for his intellectual articulation of the Niger Delta struggle. He died on April 9, 4 months to his 49th birthday. Chukwuma Onwekusi, Channels Television News.
Well, in part two after the break, the PDP warns aides and associates of the president against using their offices for anti-party activities. That's in a moment. Stay with us.